So what does he do to succeed? He takes his anger, he takes his frustration, he takes his fear, and he condenses it. And he focuses on one single goal, and that's to finally make it and be successful as long as he can. And that is exactly what he does for nearly 4 years. To provide context, this is a championship reign that we as wrestling fans have never conceived of. We never thought this would ever happen again in our lifetimes. Having a champion for that long, just given the structure of the business in modern times, is simply impossible. You just can't really do it. But he does. And he achieves everything that he wants. He meets those expectations. Matter of fact, he far exceeds them. Even if it came at a cost of his morality, he built his empire upon bones. Remember, the only reason why he was able to remain a champion for so long is because he formed the bloodline to protect him. People forget that the bloodline were actually victims. He beat and manipulated his cousins in an effort for submission. To be frank, I don't know which was worse, the physical or the emotional abuse. The unfortunate truth is it worked, and it worked really well. Roman at one point was so dominant that he was literally rotating through the roster. It was just main event after main event after main event of every WrestleMania. He was doing things that Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and Shawn Michaels and John Cena never even scratched close to doing. And it didn't matter who he hurt along the way, which was a lot of people. What really makes a good story is when you can realize the real life parallels to it. Despite the fact that he reached monumental success, it was the fact of how he obtained it and maintained it. When you abuse and you hurt people, you eventually live a fruitless lifestyle. No matter how glamorous it may seem, it truly doesn't really mean anything at all at the end of the day. And that's why it makes this moment so fucking emotional. Because typically with a lot of villains, they may actually believe in their facade. But it takes a certain kind of evil to consciously and knowingly want to delve into something even darker. There's no doubt in my mind that Roman knew that by going after Seth Rollins, he was going to lose everything that he built. But for Roman, this was simply not something that he could pass up. This was just legitimately not an opportunity to become a better person. This was just revenge. And really for Roman, he feels like Seth is the catalyst to all of his failures, to all of his insecurities. When we see how he was treated in the first stage of his career, that translated to how he felt like he should treat others. But the story of the Tribal Chief is one about a victim who then became the abuser. And he allowed himself to delve so deep into the darkness, he just eventually embraced it. Even if it cost him everything, he literally chose hate over everything. Now, it's important to know that Joe is not this hateful of a guy in real life. But the best wrestling is when you can't tell the difference between fact or fiction. In a lot of ways, this is how he really did feel. And he honestly gave us one of the best cautionary tales I've ever seen.